name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All Ingesters feedback session. We call this Red Line Live. We do this every Wednesday evening. Well, for the East Coasters, evening, 8 p.m. I know there's a World Series game on tonight. So if you're here, that means you're a nerd artist like me. But I will be watching the game after our hangout session. But anyway, that's all. We're looking at some really fun drawings tonight. And what we do on this crazy evening is we look at gesture drawings from our members who submit their work every week, and we also have Q&A. So if you guys are in our chat on Instagram, hello Instagram, or YouTube, hello YouTube, or obviously our members, who's here in our member chat? We got Matt's here, Luke's here, Erica's here, what's up? Awesome, really nice drawings this week. We had a really fun Luke just said, wait, the World Series is going on and no one told me? That's right. It's game 5 tonight. So it's tied 2-2. So yeah, it's pretty excited. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about baseball. And let's talk a little bit. The other night they went to 18 innings and it was insane. It was like tied for a record. And the Dodgers won that one. Anyway, so really fun. But yeah, and Mr. Matt is in my ear, and he's going to be fielding any questions you guys have so I can draw, and he's going to be looking at the Instagrams and the YouTubes, okay? What's up, Matt? I hear you back there. All right, man. Cool. All right, so let's get into it. So we have a, what do we have? Last week, we have a few housekeepings. Sorry, guys, hang on. We had a really fun thing last month. We did, I'm clicking buttons here, guys. Hang on. Just so you guys can see this in our Instagrams and stuff. I just launched a basics tutorial, and you can click on my bio link. I have like a little store set up there, and you can check that out. And there's also, it includes a 1-hour bonus video, which is a all-in-gesture workshop to apply what you've learned in your tutorial, and a very special discount offer if you'd like to become a member of all-in-gesture and to get you in that drawing habit. But yeah, and we got a crazy group of people who do this every week, and super pumped about our community. So come on in. The water's fine. Hello, Ian. Where's Ian? Is he on Instagram? Cool. What's up, dude? Awesome. All right, so anyway, that's a lot of chatting, so let's get into our drawings for our folks who have been patiently waiting. Pushing buttons. Hang on, guys. Everything shifts around here for me. It's great. Good times. There we go. Okay, there it is. All right, so we're going to look at our members' drawings here. And who are we looking at first here? You guys have been kicking butt. We had a great theme last week. It was Arrietty, which is a Studio Ghibli film. And it was really fun. And this is Miss Erica drawings here. And Erica, I just love this drawing here, the one on the right. Really nice. I'm really seeing a difference in your work because I know you've been drawing your face off, and drawing a lot, which is what you got to do, right? If you want to get better at stuff, you got to do a lot of it. So you are doing a lot of it, and I really see this arc of improvement. And there's confidence in your lines. Your poses are getting, Walt Stanfield talks about the parts are many, but the action is one. I'm really starting to see that unity in your drawing, and it's really cool. It's some really strong stuff, especially the last couple weeks. So anyway, but yeah, I love this one, and the one on the left, I think we could talk a little bit about that since you submitted your stuff here. Let's talk about that. So Arrietty is a little teeny person, and she comes from a group of people called the Borrowers, if you've never seen that film. and it's really charming, as all Studio Ghibli films are. And Arrietty's very spunky and risk taker, and really fun personality. And our model Kelly was just fantastic. This pose was supposed to be um, basically Arrietty was hugging her giant human friend goodbye, I think, and that's what this pose was about. So I think, who said that? Anand illustrates. Yes, I agree, Anand. Anand says, looks great, very expressive. Awesome. I totally agree. But let's see here. So, but this one, just getting into the spirit of the pose a little bit of, and I know Kelly's pose is very similar to this, but you really think about that action of either hugging somebody goodbye or hugging somebody because you love them, they're your friend, or whatever, you know. It's like you almost want to go all the way. It's like full contact, like body close by, you know, arms wrapping around, and I feel like we can get a little bit more emotion. I think your mechanics are pretty nice here, but just to push it a little bit, I almost wanted to. This is a giant thumb, which I thought was a nice solution. I think I did like a giant hand, and it's hard to read it, so I like your solution. But I feel like just putting, like, finding those emotions, you know, finding that emotion within ourselves, right? A little bit, and really leaning in, you know. And is it a romantic love that you want to show in your pose? Is it a friendship love? There's all the different loves, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't mind your lean on the front leg. That's cool. But I just feel like we could push that a little bit. And it's almost like, as an actor, you know, with your poses, which is what we're up to, you kind of have to go there, right? You have to find those emotions. And I just released a little class clip video today, and a really well-known artist, his name's Steve Bjorkman, and he's a phenomenal illustrator. And he was saying, "Oh, I saw you acting out your drawing or your pose in your class when you're explaining your thing, you know." And he goes, "I totally do the same thing when I'm coming up with my poses for my illustrations, and I love that, you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too. I do it all the time," you know. And it helps, you know, to get out of your seats and tap into those things. Okay, so anyway, that's all. Just kind of leaning in a little bit, get a little bit more emotion. If she's too far back, it's almost like she's holding up the thumb. Hey, look, I found the thumb, you know. So it's one of those things. It's all the difference those little nudges can make. So anyway, but beautiful work this week, Miss Erica. I'm gonna move that over here to the side. Frankie Bay is on YouTube. What's up, Frankie Bay? Thanks for jumping in. Frankie Bay. Do you know Erica Bay? What's going on? All right, so here we go. And I liked your cookie jar idea. Very cool. I like it. That was a good solution. I think I made my cookie jar too small. So anyway, but really nice stuff, Erica. Okay, Mr. Corey, moving on here. All right, Corey. There was some nice stuff this week, for sure, sir. And I really liked this pose. It's in front of my noggin right now. I'll blow that up for a second. I thought there's some really cool stuff happening, dude. So I was looking at the shoulders in this drawing, and there's a lot of good planes and structure happening in your work now. Um, Here, I'll quit talking, and I love this plane for some reason. I'm really digging that. Okay, um, really nice. I think you could use a little bit more neck. You know, don't forget there's a neck down under there when you're designing your poses. But that's really cool. But there's some real solid stuff going on here. So I'm just being a little nitpicky on this one. But another thing to look out for, I don't recall this pose, but I'm going to throw it out there that I think, hey, that I think scratch discs are full. What? All right, that's enough of you. Hang on, guys. I'm doing a tech computer thing here. Live on camera. Hold up. I'm getting yelled at by my my computer. Tech Gremlin on live TV. Empty trash. No. Let's see what they have to say. Haha! All is well. Okay, anyway, moving on. So the only thing I'm going to be nitpicky here is watching the plane of the feet. They're on the same plane, and so now I want to pick one side or the other, right? So since it looks like her right leg is in the back, I'm just going to nudge that higher on the ground plane. Does that make sense? So it's just a little thing. Just because if she was on the same plane, it might tip over. Okay, so she needs to be on that correct plane so she has good balance. But because I love the shoulders you did there, so solid. The hips are nice. But yeah, just get those feet in line. So that's all. Okay, I'm gonna move this over to the side and talk about another one. Okay, let's do it. So yeah, Instagram. If you guys have any questions, we see you over there. And YouTube. We can talk and squawk, all those things, and draw. This is why we do this. Or if you're just content looking at us scribble on drawings. Totally cool. All right, let's pick another, shall we? Oh, nice. Matt says, we used to do that with the Bob Ross episodes. Just watch them. Todd Ross. Not even close. All right, so let's see here. So this one, now remember this pose, and this was, it stuck out to me because I thought it was a great thing that Kelly was doing. So this one, for those of you who weren't in the class, Arietti, she's holding a leaf. She had this big giant, we actually got a big giant leaf as a prop, and it was really fun. And she was basically hiding behind it, like trying to camouflage herself, right? And whatchamacallit? So this one, I feel like she's just kind of holding the leaf, and what I really want to do is, okay, well, actually it's behind me. So I have this one on my board right now. So you can see how she's more bent over. She's being cautious. She's being a little nervous, right? She's kind of squatty in the legs a little bit. She's like kind of ducking, behind her prop leaf here. And she's just barely peeking over. And so you want to try to find these little body languages, right, to get that idea of she's nervous, she's scared, she's cautious, she's, all those little wonderful descriptive words. I'm not the English guy, so if those are verbs or adjectives or both, I don't know. But just gonna bend those legs a little bit. Yeah. Um, she, she wants to disappear behind this leaf, but she's also being brave to get out there, and she's kind of holding the stem, which is the way you have it there. So I'm just kind of tucking her down a little bit. I'm thinking of bending her body forward a little bit. I'm just thinking that line of action, right? And then kind of bending her legs. And even though the leaf's in front of her, I'm still going to draw through, make sure everything's working. you know. Dory wishes everybody a happy Halloween Eve. Eve! Eve's. Eve? What is today, the 29th? Happy Halloween double Eve. But maybe I'll move this hand back here a little bit, get some more leaf to cover her. Like move it around. So yeah, it's almost like she's holding the leaf, kind of normal. But what can we do to, get like a little worried eyeball there? And she's kind of holding the leaf at the top, which is what you have already. Okay? And her dress peeking out, and her little boots and all those things. So, but yeah, man, that's all. Just pushing that emotion a little bit, ducking behind there, and then you can, draw your little leafy, proppy things, little tears and broken off stem and all that jazz. Anyway, yeah. So Corey, work on finding those words, those actions, all those things that what do they call it? The subtext, basically, of the drawing. You heard about subtext with writing, right? Same kind of idea. All right. How are we doing on time here? Doing good? Yeah, I think that's a good spot there, and we'll move on. Mr. Luke. So, Mr. Luke's went on a couple trips lately. Luke says, I thought baseball was a summer thing. Well, this is the World Series, man. Baseball is a long season, I have to say, which is awesome. All right, so Luke has been doing some traveling, I know, and looks like he, what does this say? Musicians at Harambe Place. Oh, he went to Disney World. Hey! Should have waved at me, man. All right, so this is not a little tiny person in a forest, but that's okay. I love drawing musicians and going out. I grab a sketchbook and there's street musicians, or if you're at a place like this where there's just live entertainment. Oh my gosh, I love it. But generally the poses could be a little boring, and not always, but sometimes, it's just he's going to be standing in one position, maybe moving around a little bit, playing his horn. And so one thing that I like to do with those situations, and even if in a coffee shop, right? If a pose is kind of boring, zero in and experiment with caricature. I think, it's just an approach. It's something that you have to do it, but it's one of those things. It's like, how can I caricature this guy, or this girl? It's like, how can I make them, how can I seize this moment and really push, this person's vibe, right? But even that, What's that? So Matt is in my ear and he says, then you have to debate if you show them that or not afterwards. Do you want to see my caricature review? I'm offended. But, it's all about that exploration. See, so sacks, they kind of, uh, maybe it's a bigger dude and you simplify the shape of their body, and maybe you push that kind of soul moment when they're kind of, like leaning back a little bit with the sax. Oh, Luke says he likes the boring pose because it helps drawing properly. Yeah. No, I think subtle, not everything has to be extreme, like all the time and crazy all the time. Um, but with a drawing, it's like even with a subtle pose, you still want to find that one thing, like that one little piece of entertainment, that one little piece of character um, that makes that thing special. You know, I wish I had it in front of me. Um, there was a wine bar we were at down the street several years ago, and I took my sketchbook in there, and this guy was jamming on this guitar, and he was just in the moment. If you've ever seen that movie Coco, where what's his name, the little boy, he's up in his secret loft playing his guitar, and he's just like Pixar animator, whoever did that scene, just it just blows my mind because he's just in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And you just feel it. Miguel, yes, the boy. And anyway, all that to say, it's like I got a little sketch like that where I was trying to get this guy because he was in the moment, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that, like lift his shoulders up a little higher, crouching down, closing his eyes, whatever. And it's like a little head tilt, like really trying to find some of these things. And yes, not every drawing is going to be perfect, but these are the things that we want to, try to shoot for. I don't know if cheeks puff out in saxophone or not. I don't think so. But anyway, all that to say, maybe he's a big belly man here. But yeah, I'm just nitpicking. Maybe a little tilt back or something. Anyway, you get the idea. Anyway, yeah, that's it, man. I liked your little caricatures over here on the side. Very cool. I love it. I love it. Looks good, man. Looks very good. All right, so moving on. Thank you, Luke. Thanks for sharing your drawing the wild sketches. I love that. All right, Mr. Scott. Very fun. So much energy in this thing. I love that straight in that arm, just like that whoosh, right? I know she was battling a cockroach. That was the pose that she was in, which was super, super fun. And you're welcome, Mr. Luke. Thanks for submitting your drawings as always. I know Kelly's pose is a lot more subdued in this one, so I loved how you pushed it, and I love the rhythm that you got in this. Oh, where's it at? In this other drawing over here. Let me move it over. This one. Really nice. So yeah, looking really good, dude. These ones I felt we could mess with a few proportion things. I think the attitude is wonderful in this drawing, which I do love that. So there's a lot of attitude in it. Obviously, all your perspectives are right on, like with the boots and all this stuff. But if I'm going to be nitpicky, I don't even think I finished this drawing. This was the last pose of the night or the morning or whatever. But when I think of Arietti, she's like a petite, she's basically a teenager. You know, kind of young vibes. So I feel like we can, I'm going to stick with your pose here. Just going to fart around a little bit with that leaf, kind of frame it a little bit better. This is like a prop thing, Scott. One thing I look for, like with my stuff at work, now that, I mean, I'm more of a character guy. I'm not really drawn to the props thing, but I need to be, so cannot fight it. But what I love about with Imagineering is they force me to, you know, you're creating an environment for people to, that would be cool for people to want to be in, right? And and I love now using props and environments to, just like creating an animated show or whatever, that point to the area of interest, you know. And with this, I feel like we could use this leaf prop to maybe frame her, you know, do some kind of funky design, you know. And, you know, you could have a really cool chair a character sitting in, that kind of a thing, you know. She's very pleased with herself here. I have a giant leaf, and it's so awesome. She has this great paper clip, or a clothesline clip for her hair clip. And it's super cute in the design and the film. But yeah, so when I think of like a younger character like this, just watching the proportions, the head could be, you know, not that it has to be humongous, you know, because you're trying to draw a human model, I guess, you know. But yeah, just giving that youthful look, increasing the size and the noggin, um, you know, evening out the proportions. Generally, hero characters are really their proportions a little bit more even. And then you get into villains and the humorous characters too, and their proportions are usually a little wacky. Think of Edna Mode, right? She's tiny with her giant head with glasses. Looks like a car. Anyway, so what else we got here, sir? I think that was good. And yeah, but beyond that, man, really cool stuff this week. Such powerful stuff, Scott, all the time. You're not afraid to exaggerate and move things around. I love it. Okay, then. Frankie Bay is a relative. Cool. Thanks for joining us, Frankie. Love it. All right, so this one, this is Mr. Dory. What's up, man? All right, Dory had a question about feet in his email. I think with this one, you did very well, man. With, you know, we just went over this pose with Corey's drawing. So I think you did very well to getting that she's hiding kind of vibe. I'm just going to mess with your proportions a little bit, okay? So just bringing in, I think maybe my legs are even a little bit too big. Yeah, actually. There it is. So yeah. I'm not going to mess with their solutions here, just kind of tweaking proportions, okay? I know you've been working hard at that, which is awesome. Yeah. Erica says, I like how Dory drew through the leaf. I do too. Well done. So yeah, all right. That's all. All right, so moving on to this one. You had a question about the feet. She's holding a sugar cube, which is a prop from the movie. And I think the pose that we had here, she was just kind of like holding this object, and some people made it a sugar cube, other people made it a giant acorn. Doesn't matter the prop, really. She's just excited about her object, right? Borrowers in the film, they're very, they take what they need, is kind of their motto. But I'm going to mess with your weight distribution here a little bit. She's very excited about her object. She's kind of like, oh, what a great discovery, right? Let's see here. So I'm going to think about those hips, the hip bones there, right? She's looking a little off balance. So I'm going to tuck that foot back a little bit. You're welcome, Mr. Dory. Awesome. All right, let's see here. All right. And yeah, if you guys are on Instagram or YouTube, you may throw out some questions. You're not interrupting me, man. Okay. So she's really excited about this object. Because right now, with your drawing, she's possibly looking like she's giving it to somebody, you know? But, and that could be a solution. Or, in this case, maybe she's super excited about this thing that she found. Oh, my mom really wanted sugar, and I found the sugar cube. Or whatever story's going on in your mind, you know? So just watch those eye contact things, just so it's clear, boop, 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 right, that she's looking at whatever object that she's looking at. And it has to read very fast. Like your audience, they're going to look at it, right? And it's going to be instant whether they're going to get it or not. It's just the way it is. We're very visual creatures, right? You know, people read body language super fast, whether they're an artist or not. And so if it's not reading, then guess whose fault it is? Not the audience. It's our fault, dude. You know? So, all that to say, getting those eye contacts. But there's a lot of charm in your drawing going on. I could tell you had some fun with this theme. Very cool. I had some fun too. It was really great. It was actually something challenging about this theme, but really, really fun. I think I could have made my proportions a little bit better. She had that pin for a sword, which was fun. And you had a question about the feet. The feet look pretty good on this one, Dory, but again, just watch that ground plane. If this back leg is, you know, the model's right leg or screen left, right? If it's further back in space, even if it's just even if the angle of your audience or you or whatever, or the camera that you draw from, right, is at a certain level, high or low, you know, just try to capture that, even if it's subtle, like, you know, do that, but that's just me nitpicking because you do have it pretty good. Just watch that plane. And let's move on to the next one. You erased it like 3 times. Uh, sorry, I'm reading a chat comment here. Still eluded him. Yeah, I think it's that leg. Got to bring it in. I think that's really what the problem with the pose is, not really the feet. So yeah, it's tricky, man. Tricky, tricky, tricky. And this one, I'm not sure I remember this pose. Guess she's lifting something. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I feel like the only thing I would tweak is her arm. Because I like the leg thing you got there, kind of going back, supporting her weight. That's cool. Um, again, just maybe one thing. If you look at Scott's drawings, he's so good at the ground plane thing. Sometimes he draws a little box. Dave Pimentel draws shadows under the feet to establish a ground plane. And sometimes if you exaggerate it a little bit, like push the leg feet back a little bit more, I don't know if you could see that. Kind of turn it on and off here. Uh, anywho, all right, so you're welcome, Dory. All right. So this arm, I feel like. Sorry, I'm just kind of drawing here. The arm in front of her face there. I'm just going to clear the silhouette, okay? And instead of it covering the face, I'm going to move it out, all right? And yeah, so just keep in mind silhouette. It'll help the pose read. And it's like, I saw a quote one time. I don't know who it was from. But basically, it was have something to say and keep it simple, okay? And simplicity can be very difficult to find in a drawing, but it's something to aim for. And then whatever it is she's holding here, okay? But I think what you did with the weight with that back foot catching her, because she's either holding something heavy or she's lifting something up or whatever, that was really good. And I just kind of bent her back a little bit more and cleared that silhouette of her arm, okay? But anyway, thank you, Dory, for submitting your work. Really good stuff. Definitely see the improvement as well. Mr. Matt. Zero G. Yeah, Dory says perhaps I ought to try that, and I'm assuming that's the ground plane thing, dropping a shadow or a little box or something like that. And it starts to train you to latch onto that theory, and then you won't have to draw that all the time if you don't want to. Matt, I just love this drawing. It looks so good, man. I love it. I love it. Really nice. Looks so good. Really loose, proportions are awesome. Really good. This one has also got a really good energy to it. I'm gonna shrink it a little bit, make sure it's showing up. I just wanted to tweak that arm. I feel like, yeah, the feet look great. Legs are awesome, man. Really nice drawing. Um, I just want to get that arm proportions number. What's that? Oh, that's funny. That's in my ear, shouting out comments and things and questions. But this is his work, which it's really beautiful. And but he's watching me. He's listening to me, and there's a 30-second delay in the drawing. So it's freaking him out. Anyway, just tech nerd stuff, everybody. All right, so just watch those proportions. This arm's coming at us probably, but this arm, you know, and it's like you really want to get that reach in there, you know, like if she's really reaching, like go ahead and really reach it, you know, get that extension. Not that it needs to be disproportionately too long, you know, maybe mine is, I hope not, but like just, you know, get that out there. Let that full line of action start from the tip of that back leg, you know, hovering above the ground there to that, you know, the end of that energy with that fingertips. Bye, or whatever she's doing. So yeah, very nice. Let me move this over. Let's look at a few more because some really nice drawings this week. Wow, my screen's getting crowded. This is awesome. Really nice energy in this one. She was fighting again, like fighting some giant creature, who knows what. But really nice. I love that lean back. You can see you really pushed it and went for it. So really nice. Yes, giant cockroaches. Who knows? This one, I think we could have pushed that windowsill idea. Like she was trying to lift up that windowsill. And you can go so many different directions with this idea of weight, you know, or strain. It's like, I just feel like in my head there's so many images burned of like, probably like Tex Avery cartoons or something, like really just leaning in, you know. But if I was trying to lift up a giant windowsill, what would that look like? You know, like, you know, would she lean forward more? Would she really, you know, like, how would you do that? You know, like, would you lean into it more? Would you, you know? So I need to explore this one, you know, like I would. It's almost like she's picking up a giant box, but it's kind of over there or something. I don't know. Because with something like that, you got to get your body closer to it, you know? And maybe mine's too far away. It's like maybe it's like this. She's going up. You know? It's like finding that right solution. But this is why we do this class, right? This is every week to train ourselves to find these solutions instinctually. You know, sometimes they elude. Huh? Who's joined us on YouTube? Awesome, Maxim. Hey, cool. Thanks for jumping in. So yeah, I don't know. I almost want to lean her because she's trying to go up, right? She's trying to go up, so I want to lean her up because she's just kind of using her body weight to push it. Looks like I need to shrink this drawing down. Sorry. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna do a quick tech thing, and I think this is our last one for the night. How about that? But yeah, there you go. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think Kelly was basically doing that pose, but I feel like there's something more to be had with that idea, and I almost feel like there's stages to it, like maybe her one foot is up on the on the windowsill, like like something kind of cartoony. That's why when I think of this motion or this situation rather. So, but anyway, that's all I got. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for joining us in here tonight. And again, if you want to join us this month, we are doing a new theme. I like to try to announce these things on our Wednesday nights. But this weekend, this month in October, or not October, November is coming up. November 1st is Saturday. We're doing a whole new kickoff of gratitude. That's going to be our theme for the month since it's Thanksgiving. And anyway, and so we're basing characters and personalities off of this idea of gratitude. And our first one should be this weekend, should be Mirabelle from Encanto. And we're going to have Abe Lincoln, Forrest Gump. There's going to be a couple of really fun ones. So, and I'm going to try for the Forrest Gump with the giant beard. Maybe we'll do a costume change. I don't know. It'll be fun. So yeah, come out and do it. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, for sure. And once again, get in there and grab my gesture drawing basics tutorial. You could find that on my little page here on Instagram, and just click on that link and it'll send you to it. And it'll also send you to some places of learning more about all in gesture. Other than that, come back and hang out with us on next Wednesday. Cool. Awesome, awesome. You're welcome, guys. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Mr. Matt, Dory. Awesome, awesome. Thanks, you guys, for joining me so late. Erica, I think I said that. Julian. Oh, cool. Julian Blake, this was amazing. Please do these more often. We do them every Wednesday, unless there's some kind of weird thing in my family that happens. But for the most part, we do it every Wednesday, and every Saturday morning, we have our live workshop with a live model. They're recorded, so if you become a member, we're up to 250 in our archive. It's insane. Oh, cool. Toby already has the tutorial. Thank you, Toby. Thanks for grabbing it. All right, you guys. Well, go brush your teeth. Have a good night. Go watch the game if you want to catch it, man. Yeah, hopefully they don't go 18 innings again. That was a crazy deal. Anyway, appreciate you guys joining in. Go get some drawing done, and we'll talk to you Saturday, yeah, or next Wednesday. Thanks, guys.